Okay. Ayan. So ito, apologies sa mga wala ngayon no na papanoorin nyo na lang yung recording. Hindi ko na-record yung first few moments. No? Pero madali lang naman yung piercing point. We have now proceeded with line of intersection. So, or lines of intersection. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, again, tetest natin kung itong si 1, 2 ba has a piercing point with plane ABC. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin is ito, baba natin and titigil tayo sa AC because this is part of AC. Kasi ito naman, itong 1, 2 and BC. So, titigil tayo sa BC. So, bring it down until BC, which is this one. Okay? And if we check, we have an intersection point. Saglit lang class. Okay? So, ito yung piercing point natin. So, 1, 2 indeed has a piercing point with plane ABC. So, meron na tayo nung first piercing point natin and we can project it as well. No? So, ito siya. So, that is the first piercing point. Tapos next is try naman natin kunwari si AB, no? BC. So check natin if BC, so I'll just i-rotate ko lang, no? So test ko muna to, then test ko to, then test ko to. Okay? So si BC, check natin. Does BC have an intersection point with plane 1, 2, 3? So in this case, tinitreat ko naman si BC as if it were a line, no? So BC, ito muna. So I can use this same projection line. So ito, papunta dyan, pero titigil ako sa line 1, 2 kasi this is part of 1, 2, no? So dito siya, 1, 2. Tapos ito, I'll bring it down. Tapos this is along 1, 3. So I'll bring it down until 1, 3, which is this one. Okay? Tapos hanapin ko yung intersection point. And you'll see na itong line na to does not intersect with line BC. Tama dito? So meaning, si BC does not have an intersection point or a piercing point with plane 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, hanap tayo ng isa pang no? Kasi again, to produce the LOI, kailangan natin ng 2 piercing points. So, try naman natin si 1, 3. So, 1, 3 and ABC, plane ABC. So, 1, 3, we treat line 1, 3 as a line. So, bring it down. Tapos, titigil tayo sa plane, sa edge BC. So, we can bring it down. Edge BC is here. Yan yung first natin. Tapos, AC, ito is AC, hanapin natin si AC hanggang dito. Okay? So, dito lang, kailangan hindi lang kayo ma-confuse class, no? Kasi dito madalas nagkakamali ng estudyante kung kunwari, parang nalilito na sila kung kunwari ito, i-connect ko dito. Pero dapat dito ko siya kinoconnect, no? Kasi ito yung apparent intersection nila ni BC and 1-3. Okay? So you have to keep track of all the projection lines na ginawa nyo. Okay? So ito, tsaka ito yung ko i-connect. So that's this one and this one. And you'll see na nag-intersect siya with 1-3. Tama? So we have a piercing point dito. Now I can project this piercing point pataas, papunta sa 1-3. I have produced my LOI. Okay? So this is now the LOI, no? And if I bring down the opacity a bit, to, tapos para mas makita natin. So ito yung LOI. This one and this one. This is now the LOI. Now I need to show the correct visibility, no? So, meron akong technique para mas madali siyang ma-determine using only one no. Kumbaga, itetest ko lang yung one line tapos mag-alternating method ako. But before that, merong question from Mark. Kailangan po ba gawan ng projection lines ang lahat ng possible piercing points or pwede ang isama na lang sa final answer is yung sure na may piercing point? Pwede naman isama nyo sa final answer yung sure na may piercing point, pero ang issue doon is magbubura kayo ng construction lines which is baka punit nyo yung papel nyo or something. Pero if you want a cleaner solution, pwede naman burahin nyo. Kunwari, dito sa case natin, no, pwede natin burahin tong yung tinest natin si BC kung may piercing point ba siya doon sa plane 1, 2, 3, no, para mas malinis yung solution natin. That could be an option, no? Okay?
Thank you po, sir.
Okay. So, eto, anong ginawa natin? Meron tayong itong LOI, no? So, we need to show correct visibility, no? So, the way I do it is, ito yung technique na ginagamit ko, which is much simpler in my opinion, no? So, for example, if I test one visibility of 1, 2 versus AC. So, if I test the visibility of 1, 2, and AC, I can say na uh, I use this projection line. Tapos, if I notice, una siyang tumama sa AC versus yung 1, 2, which is nandito pa. So, meaning, AC should be on top, no? So, since AC is on top, then this becomes a solid line. Tama? Ito ditong point na to. This will be a solid line. Okay? So, since solid to, gagawa tayo ng alternating method, no? So, the technique works is, whenever you meet an intersection between two lines, any two lines, or a piercing point, mag-change visibility kayo. Okay? So, kunwari ito. We start with visible, hidden, nag-meet tayo ng piercing point, therefore, visible ulit tayo. Nag-meet tayo ng intersection point. So, gagawin ko ulit siyang hidden. So, hidden to. Nag-meet tayo ng intersection point ulit. So, gagawin ko ulit na visible to. Okay? So, dito. Tapos, ba't ganun? Tapos, from here, nag-meet ulit akong piercing point. So, gagawin ko siyang hidden ulit hanggang dumating ako sa original na point ko. Okay? So, for me, that is the easiest way to do it, no? Pero, meron pang isang mas mabilis na method if meron kayong parang or um, magaling kayo mag-imagine ng planes in space, no? Kasi if you can imagine it in space, parang magiging obvious sa inyo kung ano yung magiging visible and hidden. And some students do not have that ability, no, or nahihirapan silang i-develop yung parang 3D mind na yun, no? So, kaya ang next best thing is yung alternating method na lang. Okay? So, I'll demonstrate yung other method na sinabi ko no, nung parang based on visibility lang or yung parang imagination lang. So, if I test, kunwari, itong 1, 2 versus AB. So, I'm testing 1, 2 versus AB. So, that's 1, 2, and AB and project it upwards. And I'll see na una siya nag-meet sa 1, 2 before it meets AB, which is, before it meets AB, which is this one. No? So, 1, 2 muna bago AB. Therefore, nasa taas si 1, 2. Okay? So, if natataas si 1, 2, so the way I imagine it is, kunwari ganyan. So, nasa taas si 1, 2 dito. So, kung nasa taas to, imposible na maging solid to for me. So, para sa akin, parang I can now imagine na itong buong plane na to is parang pumapasok siya dito sa plane ABC dito sa point na to. Parang ganyan. So, since pumasok siya dyan, by imagination, parang I can imagine na after this point, bumaba na yung plane. Therefore, pag bumaba yung plane, dapat itong line na to should be visible kasi itong portion na to of the plane should be on top, no, or nasa harap. Tapos nasa likod yung plane 1, 2, 3. Parang ganun. So, if you're comfortable with imagining planes in space, pwede din ganun yung gamitin yung method, no? And most of the time, if you look at it, kunwari, if something feels off doon sa final answer, no, then probably dahil it doesn't look right, no? So, lalo na pag if it doesn't look right, that's because your brain is telling you na parang hindi nagme-make sense yung ganong orientation, no? So, let's just say I'll do ulitin ko to. So, kunwari lang ginawa kong ganito. Ginawa kong ganyan. Tapos, tagalin ko yung no? So, for example, ganito siya. Parang itsura pa lang, no? Parang nakikita nyo na hindi nagme-make sense yung drawing. No? Parang wala kayong nakikitang planes in space. Parang anong object to? Parang paano siya naka-orient in space? That's because your brain is attuned to seeing objects that are that you have seen in real life, no? So kung hindi niya ma-make sense yung parang yung planes na nakikita nyo in paper or itong sa screen natin, parang automatic sinisignal niya na parang there is something wrong. Okay? So that is also the reason why yung mga problems which has optical illusions, kahit tama siya, mukhang mali sa brain natin. No? Kasi kumbaga hindi nagme-make sense based on personal experience natin of how we interact with the real world. No? Okay? So in that case, kailangan ko i-correct to using this one. No? And if you look at this, parang ganyan, parang obvious sa akin na okay, that makes a lot more sense. No? Na parang mas nakikita ko na itong plane 1, 2, 3 na to is piercing ABC at this LOI. Tapos nasa harap siya sa this point, nasa harap siya. Tapos nung pumasok siya dyan, nasa likod na siya. Parang ganyan. Okay? So, again, ang tip ko lang dito sa LOIs and piercing points is that if something doesn't look right, no, then probably baka there is something wrong with your final answer and it's worthwhile na i-review nyo siya. Okay? Okay. So, that's for LOI. That is for kung ano no, in cases wherein you have seemingly overlapping planes. Pero if we do not have overlapping planes, ito kunwari ito, then it can still have an LOI, no? And we call that LOI as an imaginary LOI because itong planes kasi na to, we can think of it as parang segments lang sila, no? Plane segments. And these plane segments represent a larger na infinite plane, no? So kumbaga parang ano representation lang sila. So if we take the larger infinite plane, then therefore yung larger infinite plane na yon should because it's infinite, mag-i-interact talaga yung two planes na yon to produce an imaginary LOI. Okay? And since infinite siya, yung imaginary LOI na i-create natin is also an infinite na line. No? Okay? So, the easiest way to do uh, this case now wherein hindi sila seemingly overlapping is to do yung special cutting plane method. Okay? So, the special cutting plane method, ang gagawin natin is i 100% ko ulit siya. No? Okay? So, ang gawin natin is create tayo ng two cutting plates. Okay? So, let's just say ito muna, CP1. So, I've explained this in the yung module video for this cutting plane method. Hindi kailangan na parallel siya sa HRP, no? Pero in most cases kasi parang convenient lang na gumawa ka ng parallel line dito kasi madali lang siya, no? Pero again, if you're doing this, hindi necessary na parallel to dito. And yung second cutting plane natin, if I were to create a second cutting plate, hindi rin necessary na parallel siya dun sa cutting plane number 1, no? Pero if you're doing the sliding ruler technique, no, or sliding triangle technique, it's always more convenient, para mabilis na you can make two lines in quick succession pagka parallel yung ginawa nyo. Kaya in most cases, pinaparallel lang nila yung two cutting planes na to. Pero again, arbitrary lang to mga to. Okay? And para mas mapakita ko to, no, I think I'll use a different color sa cutting plane 2 para mas madaling yung masundan, no? Kasi when you have multiple lines, minsan it gets a little bit confusing, no? So the way it works is, itong cutting plane 1 and 2, gagawin natin is we create itong intersection nila, i-project down lang natin. Okay? So for example, ito muna, cutting plane 1, it intersects itong sa XZ muna. So bring it down, XZ, which is this one, no? XZ. So ito, bring it down, and ito ay XY. So that's XY right here. Okay, XY. Tapos yung next is, this is P1, 4, 5. So that's dito, 4, 5. At ito naman, hanggang 5, 6. 5, 6. So this is 5, 6. Yan. So the way we do it is, we create a line. So create tayo ng line. And nasan yung line tool ko? Sorry. I create a line. Ayan, I'll just extend this line, no? Tapos, I'll create another line. Up from here. Ah, mm, Ayan. Tapos, I'll create another line. Ito from here to here. Okay? Tapos, extend lang din natin itong line na to. Okay? Like so. Tapos, kung saan sila tumama, that is 1 point no, na i-consider natin. So, I'll just say, ito, since it comes from CP1, sabihin ko lang na it's not necessarily a piercing point, no? Pero I'll just say P1 to. Itong P1 para lang to signify that this is a 1 point in my LOI brought about by the use of the cutting plane 1. Okay? Para lang malinis yung labels ko, no? Now let's do itong cutting plane 2 naman. So if I bring this down, ito. This is XZ ulit, XZ. So bring it down to XZ. So ito, this is ZY. So ZY is here. Tapos next is ito. This is 4-6. So 4-6 nandyan. So coincidentally na they fall under the same line, no? Tapos ito 5-6, which is this one. So ang gawin natin is we do the same steps, no? So ito, connect natin siya. Okay? Tapos gawin ulit natin dito. Yan. Yan. Tapos meron na tayong piercing point. No, not a piercing point. Another point 2. Okay? So this other point 2 here is the location of my LOI. Okay? So if I connect these two lines, no? Kukonek ko silang dalawa. Then this is my LOI, imaginary LOI. Okay? And to signify na imaginary LOI siya, because this is an infinitely large line. Sorry. Pwedeng lagyan ko na siya ng arrowheads, no, to signify na imaginary LOI siya. Okay? Now, para makuha natin kung nasaan yung LOI natin doon sa taas, ang gagawin lang natin is simple, no? I-project lang natin itong points 1 natin, points 1 and points 2. So ito, project ko siya papunta sa CP2 kasi 'di ba this is brought about by using cutting plane number 2. So ito siya dito. Tapos itong next naman, project natin papunta naman sa CP1. So ito. So if I connect those two, ito tsaka ito, and I'll draw gawin ko lang siyang arrowhead para to signify na imaginary LOI siya. That is my LOI dito sa. Okay? Now, to prove na pwede kang just to prove na hindi kailangan perpendicular yung ginawa ko, pwede actually akong gumawa ng additional na Okay? So let's just do this. Tapos test natin. Dapat it should fall under this LOI. So if I do, this is XZ. Ito na ZY, which is this one. Tapos ito 5-4. And this is also, this is 5-6. Okay. Now, if I did it correctly, I should get, I don't know, a point that lies within the, wait, ito. Tapos ito, oh, Yan. Medyo may inaccuracies, no? Pero, if you look at it, adjust ko na lang konti. Pero kung nakikita nyo, it should lie within the same LOI, no? So, may konting inaccuracy lang and i-adjust ko na lang konti, no? Kasi nagmamadali ako nun. So, posible dahil doon kaya siya naging inaccurate. Okay? So, parang ganyan. So, it will still produce a piercing point. It will still produce a piercing point that is passing through the LOI. Okay? Regardless kung ano yung ginawa yung cutting plane method, itong point na to magpa-pass through pa rin dun sa imaginary LOI natin. So if I were to do multiple cutting planes, I will still find na mga points that will fall under this line. Okay? So yun yung cutting plane method. And again, the simplest way to do this is just draw a cutting plane that is parallel to the reference plane, no? Because it's always much easier to do that. There are cases, however, na if you do parallel planes, posible na yung yung point of intersection nila, and thankfully dito sa example na to hindi naman ganun yung case. Pero there are cases wherein kunwari nandito yung point, nandito yung point, tapos if i-project nyo, posible na ang intersection nila is kunwari ganyan. Parang sobrang layo. So, hindi pasok sa page. Pagka ganun, kailangan nyo i-adjust yung cutting plane nyo such that na pwede nyo siyang parang baguhin yung orientation nila such that yung mapoproduce nyo na projection lines dito is something na mag-meet in the vicinity of your work area, no? Para hindi siya lumagpas sa page. Okay? So that's piercing points and LOI. Okay ba tayo? Hindi naman masyadong mahirap, no?
Okay naman po, sir.
Okay. That's good. Tapos kung gusto niyo malaman yung although ang pinakita ko lang kasi step by step, no? Pero kung gusto niyo malaman yung yung rationale behind why this method works, just look at the video, no? Doon sa sa modules natin. Okay? So, let's proceed with yung naman. Proceed tayo sa yung lesson for today. Actually ngayon introduction to projections tayo, tsaka isometric to multiview. Okay? So, yung introduction to projections, I'll leave since medyo conceptual to, panoorin nyo na lang yung video about it, no, para mas makuha nyo yung rational at saka concepts behind why we do projections in the first place, no? Okay? Pero let's do multi-view projection tayo. Pero dito, ang ipapakita ko is some sample problems lang, no? Although these are easy sample problems. So baka mas mahirap. Although ang pagkakalala ko for this MR, no, yung milestone requirement for this, which is I think 4 or milestone requirement number 4 ata siya. Ang naman niya is more actual, no? Parang ang milestone requirement is parang may shape, may kukuha kayo ng, and at least this is what we did last year, no? Kukuha kayo ng actual object, tapos from the object gagawa kayo ng isometric drawing, tapos from that isometric drawing gagawa niyo ng multi-view. So yung mga simple objects lang, no, like mga eraser, mga model na cars, mga ganun. So merong gumawa ng mga USB na flash drive, yung mga ganun. No? Pero in this yun yung sa milestone requirement natin, pero doon sa plates you'll still be doing this kinds of activities, no? Okay? So when we do multi-view to isometric to multi-view, the single most important siguro na natin na concept that we have to do it right is yung creation of the glass box. So how you imagine the glass box will dictate yung magiging final answer nyo. Okay? So you can have multiple answers depending on kung ano yung glass box na na-imagine nyo. Okay? The glass box is just yung smallest na box that you think can hold the entire solid. Okay? In most cases, usually parang grids yung ano natin. We can imagine that meron tayong parang grids dito sa ano no or blocks dito sa object natin. So for example, we can say na para siyang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Parang may 8 na blocks tong point yung solid object na to. Tapos gusto lang natin i-fill out yung blocks na yon when it comes to drawing it in the multi-view. Okay? Now, to facilitate this type of parang visualization, we need to know that the three types of planes muna. Okay? So the three types of planes are number one is yung tinatawag nating normal plane. So a normal plane is when your plane is parallel to one of the primary na reference planes. So for example, etong plane A na to, this is a normal plane. Normal siya because it is parallel to the HRP. Tama? This is also a normal because this is parallel to FRP. This is also normal kasi parallel siya sa PRP. We can also say na normal siya, itong E, kasi parallel to sa PRP as well. So the way you think about normal planes is parang either perfectly horizontal siya or perfectly vertical. Yun yung normal plane natin. Okay? Tapos naman, if you have parang this is also normal, no? Itong D, at least yun yung way na in-imagine ko siya, no? It's parallel to yung HRP natin. Okay? So another type of plane is known as an inclined plane, no? So that's normal. An inclined plane is when your plane is perpendicular to at least one of the reference planes. So actually, that is another definition of ano pala no sa normality. Instead of looking at it in terms of kung parallel ba siya sa isang primary reference plane, you can also think of it as dapat perpendicular siya to at least uh, two primary reference planes. So for example, itong plane A is parallel to HRP, pero we can also say na perpendicular siya doon sa FRP at perpendicular din siya doon sa PRP. Okay? Pwede rin ganun yung pag-explain niya, no? Pero I like to imagine na parang para yung pinaka madaling way of imagining it is normal siya pag either perfectly horizontal or perfectly vertical. Okay? Yung inclined plane naman is when you have your plane is perpendicular to at least one of the or to only one of the primary reference planes. So for example, itong plane F na to, this is inclined because it is perpendicular to your HRP. Tama? Perpendicular siya sa HRP. Tapos walang pinakitang ano dito, no? Hinahanap ko yung oblique. Later on, may example tayo ng oblique, no? Pero this is inclined plane to. Okay? Yung oblique is when it does not have any perpendicularity to any of the reference plane. So for example, kunwari lang mag-create ako ng sarili kong no. Create ako. So kunwari lang meron tayong plane na ganyan. So let's imagine ganyan. So let's just imagine na to no. Normal to, normal. Tapos dito sa portion na to, meron akong plane na nakaganyan, no? Okay? Saka nakaganyan. Okay? So this is an oblique. This is also an oblique kasi hindi siya perpendicular to any of the of the primary reference plane. And pwede siya. Yan, naka-hidden siya sa likod. So hindi niya siya if you imagine this, then parang I think you'll have a good time dito sa ES1 kasi ibig sabihin na madali kayong maka-imagine ng mga 3D objects in space. Kung nahihirapan kayo, mukhang kailangan nyo ng konting practice on how to imagine solid objects when we translate them into pen and paper. Okay? Okay. So, i-delete ko lang muna to. So, the reason why we tend to use itong mga descriptions ng ano, no, yung kung normal siya, oblique, or inclined siya, because makakatulong siya sa determine at lalo na pag maraming mga optical illusions, no, makakatulong siya sa pag-determine kung ano yung orientation ng isang plane pagka nilipat na natin siya sa ano natin, multi-view. So, then this is what we call as the isometric view. Tapos ito naman, ito yung multi-view natin. Okay? The multi-view has the primary reference planes, yung HRP, FRP, tsaka PRP. Okay? So, gagawin natin is create tayo ng smallest na glass box that can contain this. And based on my imagination, parang I think the smallest box is if I create a parang ano, no, isometric box na ganyan. Thus I can create to, connect ko to. When we create isometric na ano, no, lines, ito should be 30 degrees or isometric na objects, no. Itong from the horizontal, this should be 30 degrees. Okay? Okay? Tapos extend natin siya pa ano. Tapos ang gagawin natin is etong point na to, extend natin siya ng ganyan, no. And siguro mas madali kong gawin ko ganito. Sa ano nyo, pen and paper, mas madali nyo siyang magagawa, no? Kasi ako niro-rotate ko pa siya para magawa ko ng parallel line. Pero sa in your case, pwedeng diretso nyo na lang ilagay yung ruler nyo, no? Okay? Para ganyan. Tapos gawa ko ng perpendicular parallel line dito. Tapos ito yung yan. Okay? So yan yung parang glass box ko, no? So, I created the glass box. Tapos yung itong glass box na to, dito ko ilalagay yung mga projections ko, no? Okay? So this is actually the glass box na to, this is my HRP. Ito ay PRP. No, sorry. FRP. Tapos ito, magiging PRP ko. Okay? So, gagawin natin is, we just copy these distances, no? Kasi isometric naman to. Meaning, all distances are equal, no? Or equal yung scale na ginagamit. So, if I were to copy this, ang gagawin ko lang is, ito. Tapos lagay ko siya dyan. Meron naman tayong markers. So, I'll just copy the square somewhere dito. Yan. Drawing ako pataas. Drawing dyan. Ganyan. Sorry. Tapos, kukompute ko lang siya, no? Gagawa lang ako ng yan. Tapos, ganyan. Okay? Yun yung ano ko. So, yun yung para sa HRP ko. Tapos, if you notice, same distances lang to, no? Equal distances lang sila. And yung mga ganitong problems, usually, equal lang yung distances na ginagawa. So, gagawin natin is, kakopy lang natin. Para to save us some time, no? Gagawin ko lang is, copyan ko na lang to. Tapos lipat ko siya dito. Lipat ko siya dito. Okay? So that is where I project my HRP, FRP, at saka PRP. Okay? Now, when you're looking at this portion dito, so meron tayong mga obvious na, no? Kunwari ito, itong part na to, itong plane na to, and let's just say itong plane na to, plane A siya. So you don't have to label it, no? Lalo na pag masyado na madaming planes, very complex yung objects. Minsan, mas mahirap na mag-label kayo ng planes, no? Pero for this one, siguro pwede natin i-label siya, no? Kasi konti lang naman. So let's just say A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay? So, etong A muna, drawing natin siya. So if we were to view it from the HRP, and parang nakadikit naman siya sa glass box natin, no? It's a normal plane na directly nakadikit sa glass box. Then, pwede natin siyang diretso na Tapos we know that we can measure it, no? And usually, kung hindi masama yung gumawa ng problem, no? Usually naman, naka-standard mga units sila, no? So either parang 1/2 the distance, 1/3 the distance, 1/4 the distance, parang ganun, of the glass box, no? Pero merong mga kunwari, mga weird na units like mga 5/6 siya ng distance. So yun yung medyo mahirap, no? Kasi akala nyo 1/2, tas inassume nyo lang 1/2, 1/2 na yan. Tas hindi pala directly 1/2. Pero most of the time naman sa plates and sa usually, kunwari ito, in terms of parang regular, may term ba na ganun? Regular fraction naman siya. Ito, 1/2 the distance, yun yung ni A, no? So, kukopyahin ko yan. Ito si A. Copy ko din to dito. So, we have ito. This is my A, no? Dito si A. Okay? Now, I'll imagine si B should not be C, no? Kasi parang naka-edge view si B. So, ito actually si B na shown in its edge view. Tama? So, hindi siya makikita. Si C can be seen as a square lang din. So, ako, ang personal technique na ginagamit ko is yung parang push and pull method, no? So, I like to imagine na kunwari ito. So, as seen in the HRP, ipupull ko yung mga points ko papunta doon sa AB. So, itong point na to, kunwari, ipupull ko papunta. I'll use a different pen. No? Itong specific point na to, ipupull ko siya pataas, tapos nandito na siya. Ito, ipupull ko pataas, nandito na siya. And ito, ipupull ko pataas, nandito siya. So, kung ganun yung ginawa ko, I should end up with something like ganito. So, nandito siya, C. Okay? Tapos ito naman, for plane G, kunwari, yung next point na visible sa akin is actually this point and this point. If I pull it upwards, dapat it should end up here. Ito rin ipupull ko upwards, it should end up somewhere here. Okay? So therefore, dapat ito, I should see plane G as if ganyan siya. Okay? Tapos, if you look at it, wala namang plane na nandito, no? So, just to show you, walang plane dito. Therefore, dapat hollow siya. Dapat ito, and sige, since construction line siya. If I were to draw the final answer, no, dapat ganito yung makikita ko. Yan. Sorry. Ayan. And I'm doing this na mas mabilis, no, than usual. Okay? So, dapat ito yung magiging final answer ko. So, if I get rid of the construction lines, parang ganyan yung final answer ko. Okay? Tapos you can look back at the figure tapos try to imagine it. Does it make sense? Pag view ko ba sa taas to, ganito ba dapat nakikita ko? And for me, it makes sense, no? Parang if you pull the different points, mukhang ganito naman talaga ang itsura niya. Okay? So okay tayo sa top view. Tayo naman natin sa dito naman tayo sa side view. So this is actually front view, I mean. Ito is actually si G. Okay, so try natin sa front view. So ito, yung D nakadikit dito sa FRP plane natin. So pwedeng i-diretso ko na yan. And it looks to me as if parang kalahati lang din siya. So pwede ko i-check pero I think kalahati talaga yan. So I can do ito siya. Okay. So this is plane D. Tapos plane B, makikita ko din dapat si plane B dito, no? Parang ganyan. This is plane B. Tapos, etong si plane F, makikita ko na ganyan siya. If I were to pull points ulit, no? Pulling points method ang gagamitin ko. Etong point na to, ipupull ko papunta dyan. Should be here. Etong point na to, ipupull ko papunta dyan. Should be here. Now, if I connect this line, and that is also another technique na pwedeng gamitin yung class, no? Na instead of using planes, parang yung ibang estudyante na parang nahihirapan talaga ma-imagine siya, no? Usually methodical yung approach nila. They label all the points. Kunwari ito point 1, point 2, point 3. Tapos titingnan nila kung ano yung projection niya pagka nilabas. Pagka kunwari ito, point 2 and point 3. Pagka view ko dito sa FRP, dapat naka-point view siya. This is actually point 2, 3. Parang ganyan. Tapos ito, kunwari, let's just say 2, 3, ito 4, 5, point 4 and point 5. Then ito, dapat naka-point view si line 4, 5. Parang ganyan. So isa din yan sa method, no? Pero when it becomes a very complicated shape, parang mas nakakalito pagka nilabel nyo lahat ng points, no? So it all depends, no? Parang pwedeng I like to also do parang mixed na method, no? So minsan nagpo-pull lang ako ng points, minsan nagle-label ako lalo na pa for portions na nahirapan talaga ko imagine. Pwedeng i-label ko na lang yung points, tapos tingnan ko kung nasaan siya. Tapos in combination with looking at the planes as well, no? Okay? So, eto mukhang I've seen all the points already, no, or the planes. Ito yung plane G ko is the edge view. Ito plane F. Ito siya. Tapos B, C, A is edge view there. Mukhang okay na to, no? So if I were to do the final answer, I will end up with something like ito yung magiging final answer ko, no? Ito dyan. Yan. Connect it there. Tapos yan. Magiging ganyan yung final answer ko, no? Okay. Medyo mali ito. Kasi ko lang konti. Yan. Ito yung final answer ko. Tapos I'll look at it again, make sure it makes sense. And it does make sense for me, no? Okay? Tapos lastly, pwede natin gawin tong other side, itong sa PRP naman. Tapos ang makikita ko dapat dito is itong G tsaka E. Yun lang yung planes na makikita ko dapat, no? So, gagawin ko siya dito and I'll use my compass again, no? Para lang makita ko yung halfway. Siya, B. Tapos, dito. Parang ganyan. So, if I were to draw the final answer will look something like ito, no? Tapos, yan. Lastly, ito. Yan yung magiging final answer ko. Okay? Tapos, try to look at it. Make sense? Pagka tinignan mo sa front, sa side view, this should be what I should see, no? Okay? So that makes sense. Okay? So let's try another example para lang meron tayong isa pa, no? So let's try this one, and in this case, medyo okay siya, no? Kasi marami tayong mga oblique. May mga oblique tayo which should give us some parang level of difficulty. Okay? So try natin to. Let's do muna, no? Glass box muna tayo. So glass box. Again, gagawin natin ito. Yung glass box na to mukhang hindi siya cube. Mukhang magiging rectangular prism. So I'll just do ganyan. Tapos imagine ko ang immediate imagination ko to is gagawin ko tong normal na nakadikit sa glass box. Ito normal nakadikit sa glass box. Ito din normal nakadikit sa glass box. Ito nakadikit sa HRP, nakadikit sa FRP, kasi ito nakadikit sa PRP. Okay? So kung ganun yung imagination ko, if I complete the glass box, then magiging, if I draw a parallel line dito, yan. Tapos I also draw a parallel line dito. I should have my glass box now. So again, class, super important na magawa niyo yung glass box nyo, no? The way you imagine your glass box will dictate kung tama yung magiging sagot nyo or not. Oh, wait lang, nagkamali ako, class. Nasulat ko siya sa problem. Ulitin ko lang yun, no? Ganyan. Ano natin? Just pwede ko i-connect to. Okay. So that is my glass box. No? Tapos buray natin yung mga unnecessary. Para di tayo malito. Oop. Okay. So if that's my glass box, then let's try it, no? Lipat muna natin yung distances. And let's take my compass. So una, itong height muna niya. Which as a HRP muna tayo, no? So ito muna, kung gaano siya. Okay. Ito siya. Tapos, gano'n ba ito kalaki? Tapos, twice as long ata siya, no? So, drawing natin siya. Yan. Ito. Okay. Tapos, pwede tayo mag-drawing pataas. And drawing tayo dito. Okay. So, yan yung HRP natin. Okay. Let's begin with HRP. Tapos, si FRP actually has the same dimensions, no? So, pwede ko ilipat tong ginawa ko dito. Lipat ko na lang. Oops. Lipat ko siya dito. Tama? Pero si PRP ko will look like a square dapat, no? So, si PRP, measure natin yung distance. Should be a square, no? Ito siya. Okay. Yan. Okay. So, yan yung ano ko. 3 reference planes ko, no? Tapos, gawin natin is, drawing muna natin yung mga normals muna, no? Kasi yung normal, medyo madali siyang ma-drawing. This is, and para mag-guided kayo sa ano yung na-imagine ko, no? I imagine this to be normal. I imagine this to be inclined. Tapos, ito normal. Normal, and I imagine na oblique to. Okay? So, the thing about, kaya importante ito class, no? Kasi kung normal siya, then it should be seen in at least one view as a true size and the other two views naka-edge view siya. Pag inclined naman, dapat naka-edge view siya sa isang view, isang primary view, tapos yung two other views naka-foreshortened na view siya. Okay? Tapos si oblique, dapat in all views nakikita mo dapat siya. Pero that is of course naka-foreshortened yung parang area niya. Okay? So, dapat if we were to imagine it, let's label this ano no. Let's say na A, B, C, D, and E. Dapat if we did it correctly, we should see A in only one view, B in only one view, E, one view lang din. C should be seen in all 3 views. Tapos si D should be seen in 2 views. Tama? Kasi inclined siya. Okay? So, let's do it. Try muna. Dito muna tayo. Start muna tayo sa A muna. Measure A. Yung mga, kasi nakadikit to. So, mas madali lang dapat to, no? So, ito muna A. Tapos, imagine na nandito siya, no? Ito siya, A. Okay? Tapos, tumigil siya halfway din sa distance, no? So, lilipat itong compass ko. Sorry. Tumigil siya. Ano ba kalaki yung length na to? Parang ganyan. Yung length niya. So, pwede ko i-copy lang yung length na ganyan. Okay? Ayan. Hanggang dito. Okay? Tapos dito, nag-connect siya papunta dyan. Okay? So, this is my A. Ito, A to. Okay? So, I have my A. Tapos, eto, if I were to pull this point pataas, no? Parang ganyan, papunta dyan. Ito rin, ipo-pull ko din pataas, papunta dyan. Then, I should end up na parang rectangle lang to, no? Okay? So, dapat ito siya dito. Parang ganyan. That is D. Okay? Tapos, si C is ito. So, dito, naka-edge view si A, B, and E. So, if I were to draw the final answer, I should end up with something that looks like yan. Tapos, yan. Yan. Tapos, ay, sorry. Ito naman. So, ganyan. Ito, ganyan. Dapat ganyan yung itsura niya. Okay? Tapos, let's see if it makes sense. Parang nag-make sense naman. Okay? Dito naman tayo sa left side. Sa front view, itong FRP natin. So, sa FRP, tingnan natin. Si B, mula dito sa point na to, papunta sa itong distance na to, no? So, kunin natin yung distance na to. Itong height na to. So, nandito siya. Okay? Dapat dito yung B. Tapos, ito, makikita ko dapat na ganyan siya. Tapos, ito, if I were to project it, papunta dyan, nandito dapat itong particular point na to, no? And that point is equal to this distance. Tama? So, gagawin ko is, kunin ko to. Itong distance na to. Copy ko siya dito. Okay? Somewhere dyan. Okay? Tapos, kukunin ko din yung itong point na to. Kasi ito yung magkoconnect sa itong dalawang points. Kasi pag pinul ko to papunta dyan, dito na siya. Ito rin pinul ko papunta dyan. Dapat magkoconnect siya ng ganyan. Tama? Dito sa frontal reference plane. Okay? So, gawin natin is kunin natin tong distance na to. Okay? Also, another trick is if you see lines that are parallel to each other, then nag-apply pa rin yung rules natin sa lines and planes, no? 'Di ba kung if one line is parallel to another line, then in all views dapat parallel sila. Okay? So, if you look at this is parallel. Ito parallel dito, ito parallel dito, ito rin parallel dito. Tama? So maraming parallel lines actually dito. So dapat in all views parallel pa rin sila. So itong line na to, line na to, line na to, parallel sila sa dito, dito, and dito. And dapat it should make sense na dapat parallel din sila dito. So if I were to draw this, these two should be also parallel. If it does not look parallel, then you did something wrong, no? Ibig sabihin, Either mali yung ginawa nyo or ulitin ko lang pwedeng mali yung mga distances na nakuha nyo, no? Or mali yung naging imagination nyo. Okay? Tapos, isa pang trick class, no? And lalo na sa mga oblique planes. If meron kayong isang shape na nakita, then it should maintain its general shape all throughout. Lalo na pag oblique siya, it should maintain its general shape all throughout the different projections. So for example, ito, kung mukha siyang ito, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a ano naman tawag doon? A four-sided na polygon. Then therefore, dapat dito sa views na to, four-sided pa rin siya. So you can see na plane C, four-sided pa rin siya dito. Ito, four-sided pa rin siya with ito yung largest angle, tapos may angle ka dito. Yan, yan. So, it should roughly maintain the same. So, kung may makita kayong kunwari star shape, dapat pag pinoject siya in different views, roughly star shape pa rin dapat siya. Okay? So, that is one way to deal with oblique planes din. No? So, parang yun yung isang quick way to check if tama pa yung ginagawa nyo. So, ito yung si plane C. Okay? And I think enough na to, no? Parang I have pulled all my points. Tapos I should see only this one, no? Tapos si D naka-edge view B, edge view si E, edge view si A. Okay? So, final answer natin to. Gawin natin na ganyan. Oop. Ito, this one. Okay? Ay, sorry. Hindi pala dapat. Sinolid to. Dapat wala to, no? So, final answer should look like this, no? Okay? Okay. Tapos clean up na lang konti. Tapos, does that make sense? Dapat nagme-make sense yan, no? If I were to view it the left side, tama naman. Yan yung makikita ko. Okay? And last, ito naman sa FRP naman tayo, no? So, ito, ang makikita ko is, ito muna, ito nakadikit sa plane ko. Actually, pwede kong gawin is, I know this is the same distance as dito, no? So, pwede actually project ko lang dyan. So, ito na siya. Tapos, pwede rin-project ko dito. So, dapat, ito siya. Okay? Nakalimutan ko, may isang technique ginagawa yung SA ko dati. Which is, medyo cool siya na technique, no? Na hindi ko madalas ginagamit. Nakalimutan ko, tinuro niya sa akin. Pero parang ang ginawa niya is, nag-create siya ng angle dito. Tapos, using his compass, pwede siya mag-generate ng ganyan. So, para makuha niya yung distances from this, diretso, nakatranslate siya dyan. Pero I forgot how to do it. No? Pero baka ma-discover niyo kung paano niya ginawa siya. Pero para instead of measuring it again dito, i-measure niya na lang from here. No? Tapos parang ganito yung technique na ginamit niya eh. Pag ganyan, tapos using a compass. Pero I don't know how to do it. No? Pero nung nakita ko siya, sabi ko, oh, parang ano nga yan. Parang mapapabilis yung workflow nyo. So, since I don't know how to do the technique, ito, i-measure ko na lang, no? Pero maybe you can discover it on your own, no? So, yan. Tapos, parang if I pull this point papunta dyan, it will look like a ano lang square dito, no? So, I can just do pa ganyan. Tapos, eto, I can connect this one. Ayan, boring ko lang to. Si C. Ito dapat si C. It still looks like a four-sided ano, no? And I think ito na yung final answer ko. Okay? Drawing ko lang siya. Tapos last is this one. So kung buburin ko construction lines, dapat ganyan siya. Okay? So check natin yung statement na sinabi natin kanina, no? About obliques, tsaka oblique, incline, tsaka yung ano, no? Normal. So, dapat si plane A should only be seen once. Plane A, isang beses ko lang nakita. In the two other views, naka-edge view siya. Si D should be seen twice. I see D here. Tapos, nakita ko rin si D dito. Tama? So, D twice. C should be seen 3 times kasi oblique siya. So, plane C here, C, tsaka si C. B, only once, which is this one. Edge view siya dito, edge view siya dyan. E, only once lang din. Tapos, edge view siya dito and edge view siya dyan. So, that is why it's important to na before you start doing your work, parang imagine nyo na agad kung alin yung oblique, inclined, tsaka normal. Okay? Tapos, suggestion ko rin is, pero once you get good at it, no, minsan hindi nyo na kailangan i-label kung alin yung mga planes nyo, kung oblique ba siya, inclined ba siya, parang readily na-imagine mo siya, okay. Parang kaya-kaya nyo siya or mabilis na yung workflow nyo, kumbaga. Okay? And with practice, you will get to that point, no? Okay? Yan. So, tingin ko, I think I can leave it to you guys para gawin itong example na to, no? Para makapag-practice din kayo kung paano i-solve siya. And we can end the lecture earlier today. Or gusto nyo ba gawin natin today? Gusto nyo ba makita anong itsura nito?
Sige po, sir.
Okay ba yon? Kasi imagine ko na baka may ilan sa inyo na gustong ma-challenge yung sarili nyo, no?
Challenging naman po yung plate mismo.
Okay, sige. So, sa plates nyo na lang i-challenge sarili nyo. Okay, so gawin natin ngayon to na para meron. Baka ito yung pinakamahirap na siguro, no? Okay, let's do it. So, start tayo with glass box muna. So, ako, again, I imagine na ang easiest imagination ko dito is ito ay nakadikit sa glass box. It's normal. Nakadikit siya sa taas. Ito nakadikit sa front. Ito nakadikit sa right. And all others, ito most likely inclined to. This is also inclined. Ito oblique. Yun yung imagination ko, no? Okay? And hopefully, same tayo ng imagination, no? You can actually have a different answer to mine, no? So, kunwari, ang ginawa nyo is, this is one level higher than this one. Kunwari, ito, one level higher siya. Etong point na to is one level higher than this point. Pwede naman yun, no? That can still work. Pero para sa akin, mahirapan kayo doon kasi ito magiging oblique to. Which I think baka mas mahirap yun na solution, no? So, gawin ko na lang na what I'll do is, oops. Yan. Tapos I'll do my usual na no. Gawin ko yung glass box natin. Ay, yung kabila pa pala. Wait. Sorry. Nalito ako. Dapat dito ako siya ginawa. Yan. Tapos, we do the other side. Parallel nga ba to? Okay. From here, pwedeng i-ganon ko. Dapat pala ginawa ko na yung kabilang side. Okay, sige, okay lang. Hindi ko siya... Okay. Tapos pwede ko na i-connect to. Okay. Ayan yung glass box ko, no? Okay, let's do... So, copy natin yung mga distances, no? First, ang first distance na i-copy ko is ito muna. Parang something's wrong. Dapat medyo square to, no? Ulitin ko lang. Hindi pala straight yun. Tapos ito, mukhang hindi accurate yung ginawa ko, no? So, dapat ito is balik natin. Yan. So, may konting inaccuracies pero I can live with those inaccuracies, no? So, gawin natin. From here, measure natin to. This should be my ito yung height ng HRP ko. Tapos, gano'n siya kalayo. Need to measure, no? So, ito siya from here and ito na lang measure natin. From here to here. Okay? Tapos, angat natin na ganyan. Tapos, similar kanina, no? Pwede kong copyin lang to. Copyin ko na lang to. Lipat ko siya dito. Okay. Tapos, yung distance na to, parang square siya, no? Dapat equal siya. Ay, hindi siya naging equal. So, totoo bang hindi talaga to equal? Hindi siya equal. So, ito yung mga cases class, no? Na parang inassume ko na equal siya. Pero hindi pala siya magiging equal. So, kailangan, ano, ito, iba yung length niya sa width niya. So, ito yung length. So, ibig sabihin, mukhang hindi pala siya. Sorry. Hindi ko pwedeng magawa to, no? Ito, magiging shorter siya sa FRP. So, mukhang later, i-ano ko na lang, adjust ko na lang. Pero, sige, retain ko yan para mas makita nyo, no, kung paano ko siya i-adjust. Ito muna. Tapos, measure natin from here to here. Tapos, yung distance. Shorter yung ano, no. And let's base it on dito na lang para mas accurate. Kasi ito given to eh. Ito. Ito siya. Okay. Yan. Tapos, ang gawin natin para makorek natin yung kabilang side. I-project lang natin to. Ganyan. Dapat hanggang dyan lang siya. Sobrahin lang natin to. Okay? Okay. So, yan yung ano natin. HRP, FRP, tsaka PRP. Okay? Start tayo with this one muna, no? So, I'll measure this distance. Papunta dyan. Ito. Tapos, copyin ko siya. Papunta dito na side. Yan. Therefore, if I connect this with this one, tsaka this one, yan na yung normal ko. Tapos, si O will follow, no? Ito na siya. Itong plane na to, my oblique plane is this plane. Tapos, itong inclined ko is shown as an edge view. Itong other inclined na to is shown as this one. Mukhang okay na to. Okay? So, try natin next naman na view. Ito, copy natin to. Punta dyan. This is the same point, no? So, pwede kong ganyan lang siya para mas mabilis. Tapos, ito, papunta dyan. Now, this one, if I pull this point papunta dito, should be here, the corner. So, ito dapat siya. Okay, so my oblique again is shown in previous, no? Ito 1, 2, tas probably ito na makikita nyo pero broken line siya doon sa likod, no? So papakita natin yung correct visibility niya later. Okay? So, nasaan na tayo? I think it looks okay, looks good. Tapos, sorry, meron pang kulang. Ito, ipo-pull natin to papunta dito sa point. This point, pull natin siya papunta dyan. So, it should end up with something looks like this. Okay? And, sige, label natin to class, no, para makita natin kung totoo pa rin yung parang if inclined, 2 views makikita. If not, if oblique, 3 views, etc. So let's just label this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? And ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, class, no? Kunwari, ito, look at this, plane number 3. Si plane number 3 looks like half an arrow, no? So if you look at it from this view, half an arrow pa rin yung itsura niya. So kumbaga yung general shape na hindi dapat magbabago, no? Okay? Unless of course na you view it as an edge view, no? So definitely mukhang line lang yun pag gano'n. Okay? So dito, I think tapos na, no? So, tapos last natin is pwedeng i-diretso pala to. Here, diretso lang. Tapos I can connect this one with this one. Tama? Ito siya. Tapos incline to. Yan. From this point, if I pull this point towards dito, nandito siya. So okay na tayo dyan. Ito, connecting sa likod. So it should be, meron tayong ganyan. No? Although ito nasa likod, therefore parang broken line dapat to. And I'll show you later paano siya gawing broken line. No? Okay? Okay, so final answers tayo. Para hindi ako malito, gawin ko ng broken ngayon. Okay? Let me just look at it first. Wala na akong kulang, no? Okay. So, final answers tayo. I-finalize ko lang to. Yan. That way. Let me know if may nakita kayong class, no? Parang mali kong ginawa. I could be wrong. Ganyan. Okay, tapos itong final na to. Tapos, we'll use a broken line para dito sa last. Or see, gawin ko na lang ganito. Tapos, okay. So, ito yung magiging final answers natin. Okay, so let's prove na same pa rin yung conclusions natin. No? So, plane 1 is an oblique. Therefore, makikita siya in all 3 views. So, this is plane 1. Sorry. Dito. Plane 1. This one. Plane 2, plane 1 is also this view. Tapos, plane 1 dito sa view na to, it's actually, ito siya, no? 1, 2, 3. So, ito siya. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Ito actually yung plane 1. Okay? Pero nasa likod, kumbaga. Kaya hindi siya nakikita dapat. Okay? So, oblique, okay tayo sa plane 1. Plane 2. Plane 2 should only be seen once. So, this is plane 2. Tapos, edge view siya dito. Edge view din siya dito. Okay? Plane 3, once lang again kasi normal siya. So, plane 3 is here. Edge view dito. Edge view dyan. Okay? Tapos, plane 4, it's an inclined plane. Tama. Plane 4 is an inclined plane, therefore makikita natin siya in two views. So, edge view siya dito, pero ito siya, plane 4, and this is also plane 4. Ito, yun nasa harap. Okay? Now, plane 5 is inclined, so two views ulit. Plane 5 is here, plane 5 is here, tapos naka-edge view siya dito. This is plane 5 in its edge view. Ito no, itong line na to. Okay? Plane 6 is normal, therefore dapat one view lang, which is this view, no? Itong four-sided na polygon na to. Ito. Tapos edge view dito, edge view dyan. Okay? So again, tatanggalin ko siya. Should look something like this. And tingnan natin kung nagme-make sense ba, may discrepancies. Usually class, pagka chine-check ng isang checker or chine-check ng either essay or yung teacher yung work nyo is always kung face to face no, tinatanong sa inyo, kunwari nagpapa-recheck kayo, tinatanong parati na, okay, nasaan tong plane na to, this plane. Tapos, para ma-prove nyo na tama yung sagot nyo, kailangan mapakita nyo siya in all views kung nasaan siya. So, pwede ko sabihin na, ito sir, nandito to. Ito, edge view siya dito. No, sorry. Ito, true size siya dito, naka-edge view dito, tapos naka-edge view dyan. Okay? Tapos, kung ma-prove mo kung nasaan yung mga planes mo, parang usually kasi may points na kunwari meron kayong certain specific imagination no na hindi din na imagine ng instructor or SA. So kailangan niyo lang i-justify na sir posible itong ginawa ko kasi ganyan ganyan. Tapos para ma-justify niyo, usually magba-back and forth kayo ng no. Tatanungin kayo nasaan yung plane na to, bakit hindi siya kita dito, parang ganyan. Tapos marirealize either ikaw makaka-realize na mali pala sagot mo or marirealize ng teacher or SA na okay, tama pala sagot mo. Ganun yung way ng pag-determine natin. No? So, if you want to check whether your answer is correct, just try to look at mga certain problematic na planes, no? Tapos try to see if mapipinpoint nyo ba siya doon sa final answer nyo. So, dito in this case, ang problematic is this one. So, try natin i-pinpoint kung makikita ba natin siya in all views. Ito, kita ko siya dito. Kita ko rin siya dito. Tapos dito, nasa likod siya, which is dito. Ito. Okay? So, hopefully, okay tayo sa multi-view. So, it requires a bit of practice lang siguro class no, para ma-master nyo siya. Pero I think you can do it. No? So, siguro practice nyo yung pag-imagine ng mga objects in space. Just, there are games for this, no? Yung mga isometric games. Try to play some isometric games. Tapos, while playing, parang Pico makikita nyo, okay, ganun pala yung mga objects in space. Ganun siya gumagalaw, no? Meron din akong sinend na game, no? Although that was specifically for planes na floating in space, no? So pwede niyo ring ano ba 'yun? Basta sinend ko through email yung game na 'yun. So pwede niyo i-check din 'yun para mas masanay niyo yung utak niyo na umiikot ng mga na kaya niyo paikutin yung objects in space, no? Okay? Meron bang tanong so far before we end our lecture?
Okay naman po sir. Wala naman po.
Okay naman. Okay, thank you for the feedback. So, meron bang mahirap na concept? Siguro, lang, no? Practice lang talaga kailangan, no? Tama ba?
Opo sir. Pati imagination.
Okay, okay. So, try to do mga, yung sample plates natin. Meron pa ba tayong sample plates? Or try to ask for mga sample. Although, ito na yung pinaka-sample kasi natin, no? Sample plates natin. So, ang gawin nyo na lang is try to replicate yung ginawa ko. Tapos, start kayo from scratch. Tapos, tingnan nyo kung same ba tayo na nakuha ang sagot. Okay? Tapos, if you want to challenge yourself, pwede ring na try nyo yung different na, try nyo na, kumbaga, mag-come up kayo ng different na glass box, no? Tapos, check nyo kung iba ba yung magiging sagot at kung nagbe-make sense ba yung sagot na yun. Pagka iba naman yung glass box na ginawa. Actually, yung ngayon na inisip ko, no? Hindi pala pwedeng magkaibang elevation to. Ito at ito. Kasi itong line na to, this is the 30-degree line. 30 degrees din to, always same elevation sila. Parang hindi ko ma-imagine another way na magiging of different elevation siya. No? Okay? Meron pa bang ibang imagination to? Pwede sigurong ibang imagination is hindi nyo gawing normal to. Etong part na to. Wait lang ah. Etong part na to, kung hindi nyo gawing normal, parang naka-incline siya. Hindi rin pwede kasi naka-fix siya dito eh. So hindi ko alam kung may iba pa bang imagination dito. Mukhang yung sinabi ko, yun na yung only way. Etong kabila kaya.
Baka ano sir,
Sige, go ahead.
pwede po yung isang plane, yung
Dito.
hindi ko po maturo. Hindi, yung isa po.
Pwede mo gamitin yung annotate tool.
Wala po. Okay.
Yung punta ka sa,
Ay, nasa iPad po kasi ako.
may annotate ata sa iPad rin eh. Wala ba?
Wala po.
Or baka hindi ko in-enable
Hindi
pala.
po ata naka-enable.
Sige. Anyway, turo ka. Ito ba?
Yung yan po, yan.
Ito.
Opo, pwede po siyang naka-normal po.
Yun yung
Naka-normal siya sa
anong plane?
FRP po. Sa FRP.
FRP. Oh, parang ang hirap na. Ay, hindi ko ma-imagine pero baka kaya.
Parang medyo mas mahirap po.
Parang hindi yata posible pero I could be wrong. No? Try mo na lang yung experiment. Baka at the very least inclined siya or inclined siya. Pero parang normal sa FRP parang hindi yata kaya. At least yung kung i-imagine ko lang siya. Yun din pala yung mahirap class no kasi once na ito isang tip ko din na maibigay sa inyo. Usually kasi pagka tiningnan natin yung isang object, meron tayong parang imagination na ano no, na set. Tapos sobrang hirap mag-shift away from that imagination. So, ang suggestion ko is when you get stuck, lipat muna kayo sa ibang problem or go away from the problem muna no. Tapos try nyo balikan para at least fresh perspective kayo no. Kasi once na naka-fix na kayo sa isang imagination, tapos kung wari ginawa niyo siya tapos merong mga impossibilities doon sa imagination na yon, kailangan talaga totally scrap niyo yung imagination na yun kasi kung hindi siya mag-work, lalo na yung mga problems na merong mga yung tinatawag na optical illusions no. So whenever you encounter those cases tapos na-stuck na talaga kayo, pwedeng take a break muna, tigil muna kayo or proceed to another problem para balikan niyo siya kasi sobrang hirap na mag-veer away doon sa initial na imagination niyo. Okay? So right now parang hindi ko ma-imagine yung sinasabi ni sino ba? Latrell ba yung nagbanggit? So
Yes po. Parang
hindi ko masyadong ma-imagine kasi parang sa utak ko ngayon naka-fix na ako doon sa ano no na normal siya sa HRP. So pero I could be wrong no. Okay? So yun na lang. Okay? So thank you everyone for coming in today. Tapos I hope you do well sa exam no. The exam is na-release na ba ang exam? MR. Kailan ba ni-release ang MR? I think na-release na no? Kasi it's scheduled for release. Check natin. ES1, course schedule natin. Milestone requirement. Ay, April 20 pa pala. So yun, may milestone requirements tayo April 20, 4 days from now, no? So good luck dun sa exam Tuesday and deadline niya is on Friday, no? So baka sa Friday, since deadline na siya ng 8 a.m., kaso baka may mga late mag-submit, no? So inisip ko kung pwede natin i-discuss konti yung sagot sa problem, no? Kaso kung may hindi pa nag-submit, mukhang hindi natin pwede i-discuss siya. Pero in any case, I hope you do well sa exam. You have 3 days to do it. So that's ample time, no? So just take it slow. Huwag magbadali sa exam. Tapos try to review your notes. And kung nahihirapan kayo, you can always consult with me, no? Pero hindi ko pwedeng ibigay yung sagot. Okay? So kailangan parang pag nagtanong kayo, more of clarification lang ng concept, no? Hindi yung magtatanong kayo, tama ba yung ginawa ko, sir? Hindi ko masasagot yung mga ganong tanong. More general lang, no? Like, kunwari, sir, ano nga yung relationship ulit? Magka-parallel ba yung dalawa ganito, ganyan? Mga ganon lang. Okay? So, active na pala yung yung ano natin, consultation form, it's bit.ly and I'll link it dito, no? So para lang mas organize yung ano, no, kasi medyo nahihirapan talaga kung ang dami kasing emails na bombard ako. Hindi ko na-keep track yung mga consultation emails nyo. So use this form para pagka dumating sa email inbox ko, naka-organize siya, tapos mas madali ko kayong mabalikan. So ito, bit.ly/ask Sir Stan all small caps. Milestone 1 and 2. Both 1 and 2 sa April 20 i-release. Okay. Okay. So, I'll see you next week and good luck ulit sa exam on Tuesday or milestone requirements on Tuesday. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you po, sir.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, sir.